Kyle Shanahan just spoke on his Monday conference call. You heard it. He said that Brock Purdy threw a little bit today, didn't have any pain, although we weren't there. We didn't see it, but apparently he threw a little bit lightly without incident, and he's back in the same boat he was in last week, where we'll see how he is on Wednesday. We'll see how he feels. They were completely surprised last week. I don't know if they're any more confident about their ability to predict the future now. But what do you think? Do you feel like Brock Purdy is going to start this game against the Bills? What level of concern do you have about his arm in the short term and in the long term?
I think it's interesting. Well, they did say threw lightly. I think it's interesting that the very next day, he can throw lightly without incident the very next day. I'm not sure what to think, brother. Like, there's been reports, I don't know how confirmed they are, that he was having elbow soreness prior to the shoulder injury. If you look at his last 2 games that he played, he didn't throw a football past 20 yards in the game. So maybe that is accurate. And then the last game obviously hurts his shoulder. So I don't know. I heard you ask Kyle today, what is the injury? And, trying to get clarification of what the exact injury is. And he just said shoulder. Didn't really give any clarification of it. It's hard to know what to think of this. Is this something that is a reoccurrence from his previous elbow injury and he has a shoulder injury, or are we just dealing with a new shoulder injury? What's the depth of that shoulder injury? We don't know. It's tough to make evaluations.
We do know that he's being purposely vague. And to me, like, you would do that if it were not good. If it were a shoulder contusion, he could say that. But the fact that he won't say whether it's a labrum or whether it's an AC joint or whether it's a subluxation or whatever it is, makes me feel like he doesn't want to say, because maybe it wouldn't help Brock. Like, Brock is in such a tough spot where one more injury to that throwing arm and he could lose a lot of money. So maybe Kyle Shanahan's trying to do the right thing and protect his players' market value, or maybe he just doesn't want the upcoming opponent to understand what's going on. But I'm a little concerned about Brock. I mean, he didn't have a strong arm beforehand. He's going to go, like, short term, he's going to go to Buffalo and play well. He doesn't throw the ball that well in rain. It could be snowing. It's going to be cold. And what is he going to have, like 85% arm? I mean, he can certainly scramble around, but the more he does that, the more he opens himself up to more hits and potential injuries to his throwing arm. So I'm not sure that playing him in Buffalo is the right thing unless his arm is 100% healthy.
It doesn't sound like, to me, if I'm betting right now, I would bet he doesn't play. The reason why, I mean, you're going to Buffalo, it's cold. When in cold weather, your injuries seem to be elevated for whatever reason. He's going to be playing in snow, possibly. I think last time I checked, it was 35% chance of snow, but it was like at 33 degrees, which is that slushy, like, it's worse. I'd rather just be 25 degrees and get real snow than that slushy stuff. I mean, if there's any kind of hindrance on his arm, I would play Allen. I mean, actually, I would play Dobbs, but it sounds like Kyle also said that if Brock can't go, he's playing Brandon Allen for whatever reason. But you can't have a Brock Purdy not at 100% playing in Buffalo. It's not good for his arm. It's probably not good for the team. So if I had to bet money, I would say he doesn't play. But again, it's so vague and there's not very much clarification. The extent of this, it's hard to tell.
Let's be honest and realistic. Even if he does play, even if he's 100% healthy, we're probably going to lose to Buffalo, because Buffalo's really good and the Niners really aren't.
Yeah.
So they could throw him out there. Will he be 100%? I don't even know if they know. So it seems like it's a risk. I don't know how much of a risk, because they haven't said exactly what the injury is. But assuming it's a risk, you could take it in a game that you're probably going to lose. Yeah. Or you could sit him one more week and see if you can give him, if a little bit more rest gets him back to 100%, and then he's ready to play at home against Chicago in a game that you might actually win. That's it could be a little bit more of a cautious approach.
And honestly, if he was playing yesterday with the 49ers have won, I would say no. I don't think even Brock is obviously better than Brandon Allen, but I don't think it would have been enough to win that game yesterday. the way they were playing. And then I think it's important we talk about all the other. I mean, I don't know if this is on the plan for today, but there's a lot of other injuries. Aaron Banks, concussion protocol. Dominic Pooney, shoulder MRI. Renardo Green, neck injury.
Yeah.
You know, this team is good luck to whoever the quarterback is on Sunday. I mean, we don't know if Trent's going to come back. We don't know if Nick Bosa is going to come back. I know they just opened the practice window for Drake Greenlaw, but he's not going to play this weekend. I don't even know if he should play this season, especially if they lose to Buffalo. This team just looks unmotivated, undisciplined. They seem out of it, man. And I don't think if Brock plays, it's going to make a difference in this Buffalo game. I don't think it would have made a difference yesterday. And I don't think I would play Brock Purdy regardless. I really don't.
I don't know if I speak for you on this one, but I think what Brock Purdy does the rest of the season is extremely significant. Maybe not for the outcome of the Niners aren't going to win a playoff game this year if they even get to the playoffs, I don't think. But what he does is significant for the future of the franchise because they came into this season being like, man, it's so nice to have a franchise quarterback and we're going to pay him so much money. It's so nice to be in this position where we finally have the guy. Now it's like, I don't know that you got the guy. I mean, I like Brock Purdy a lot, but this is now his second injury to his throwing arm in 24 months or a little bit less than 24 months. So I need to see that he can make a full recovery. And even if he does make a full recovery this year, would you feel comfortable giving him a 5-year contract and feeling like, yeah, his arm will be fine? I mean, I know maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but all of a sudden I feel like the future of the 49ers franchise at quarterback is completely up in the air, and they actually probably need to consider drafting a quarterback in the mid rounds or trading for a quarterback who doesn't have a messed up arm.
They're going to have to explore all options. I mean, the 49ers are 5-6 right now. That means they played 11 games. There's 6 left. There's multiple scenarios that can unfold for Brock Purdy and for the 49ers. First scenario, obviously, if let's say he doesn't get healed and he doesn't come back, he doesn't play anymore. What do you do in that situation? Maybe we should explore situation by situation. If that's the case, if Brock Purdy doesn't come back this year, what do the 49ers do with him? To me, it's they don't pay him anything. They say play out your contract, and if you want to hold out, but we can't pay you coming off of this injury. That's what I would do in this situation. What would you do in that situation?
And even if he does come back and show something, like the fact that he injured again, scrambling around, he may have had elbow fatigue as well. I'm not sure. 2-year contract, 3-year contract, 2 or 3, depending on how he finishes the year. If he doesn't play anymore, maybe give him a 2-year extension. Be like, we like you. You've done a lot for us. We want to take care of you. But if you want a 5-year extension, you got to come back and prove it, man. Here's a 2-year offer. That's really, team friendly. And the thing about Brock is, like, I think one of the things that was great about him is that he was the perfect quarterback on a rookie deal in the sense that he was ready to play right away, no development required. But the guys who get $55-60 million a year are guys that have serious upside. It's not just that they can play right away and their experience coming out of college. Like, there's a whole different gear that they can reach. And I'm not sure that Brock can do that, even if he stays healthy. And his slender frame makes me wonder if he can stay healthy.
Well, let's put this other scenario. Let's say this injury never happened and he played this entire season, all 17 games, the way he was playing in the first half of the season. Is that worth an extension?
See, good question. Take the shoulder out of it, because I think he hurt his shoulder either scrambling against Seattle or as like an overcompensation thing because of his elbow. But I think, I'm not sure how strong the elbow's holding up. He got the surgery. He played really well for the first 3 quarters of last season. But I think it's one of these things where, it may wear down the more you use it. It may have been stronger right after the procedure, right when he got back, because really since that Baltimore game, he hasn't been putting up crazy numbers like he did the first 12 games of 2023 and the games before then. You could argue that Brock Purdy was at his best at his rookie year before he tore his UCL, that he had a stronger arm, a quicker release.
Yeah. I don't think the 49ers want
it's a shame what happened to him.
It is, and I feel bad for him. I would if Brock comes back and plays like he has been playing. I think the play is, give him a 3-year contract with an out after 2 years. It's like 25 million per, like 50 guaranteed, something
Geno
like
Smith
that.
type of deal, a Baker Mayfield type of deal.
Yeah, like here you go. Here we're doing you a favor because you've done a lot for us over the last couple of years, and we believe in you. But you got to prove more to us. And not only that, like it's beyond his play. Let's be real here. This dude's been injured a lot.
That's the thing.
He's been injured quite a bit.
That's the thing.
And
that's the biggest thing.
You really don't.
We're not talking about an ankle. We're talking about his throwing arm, shoulder, elbow. Scary stuff. And this is a guy, again, who was like trying his hardest to find ways to get more velocity. And now, like, these are things that could take it away from him, and he doesn't have any velocity to spare.
I mean, I remember the narrative around Jimmy Garoppolo was he was injury prone, right? Like because of all his injuries. Brock has played how many games now? 35 games, and he's had like 2, 3, 4 injuries: a concussion, the shoulder, the elbow, the rib. He gets beat up quite a bit. I mean, Kyle could do him a favor and invest in this offensive line, get him a center that could actually pass block. But it is scary investing that much in a quarterback who is seems to be injured quite a bit.